Hey, you guys, I think I'm live on Facebook. Hold on, let me go live on Instagram. Hold on. Okay, we're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook. Hey, everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to today's training. It's actually the first time I'm connecting on Instagram and on Facebook at the same time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to be here. And I think a lot of you must be on Easter holidays for now. But anyway, it's great to be here. Today, I want to take you through a training which is going to help you to stay connected to your purpose, no matter what. Okay, and the reason behind me doing this training today is because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and there's so much pulling on your attention. There's so much pulling you out of sorts and out of direction, right? My earring is just a little bit, it's turning the other way, wants to turn the other way. Okay, so let it turn. That's why I wanted to do this training for you today. So if you're watching on Instagram, I'm doing this live on my Facebook group. It's called Becoming Radically Soul-Led Woman. I would love for you to hop and join us there as well. If you're watching this on Facebook, I would love for you to join me on Instagram. My account is Alexia's Ripple Effect. I share a lot of behind the scenes things there, a little bit more personal stuff on my life with my clients. I'd love for you to hop in there and follow me there as well. So let's get started with the training. So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you through the 3 things that you can do to stay, it's actually 4 things, sorry. The 4 things that you can do today to stay deeply connected to your purpose, okay? It's 4 things. And then I'm gonna take you through the distractions that you need to know about these so that you can intentionally stay in your lane and focus your energy where it's most needed, okay? So just waiting for some people to come in on Instagram. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I did. Go away. Anyway, I can't see your comments in the Facebook because I'm only on one screen here and I've got my phone on the Instagram live, but whatever comments you drop, I will get to them afterwards. Can you hear me? Just bear with me, guys. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. It's great to see you. This is actually a perfect training for you, so stay watching, okay? So we're going to be going through the 4 things that you can do today to stay connected deeply to your purpose. And we're going to go through, thanks, she can hear me. We're going to go through the distractions that you need to be aware of, so that you can intentionally stay in your lane and focus your energy where it's most needed. And then I'm going to take you through what's really important now. Okay, so first off, for the 4 things you can do today to stay deeply connected to your purpose. So I'm going to make it really, really simple for you and break it down into 4 R's. The 4 R's. Okay, the first one is recognize. Recognize. So if you can write these things down, it'll be just good to have some keywords so that you can go back to this every day, because this is going to help you. Just let me give you a bit of context. We're in a massive, massive reshaping of what our world looks like, reshaping of what our reality looks like, reshaping of how our finances look like, how the economic situation looks like, and how that is going to affect our lives or not, right? There's a massive reshaping going on. And don't think that you're not being affected on a personal level. You are. And you are actually, I can call it a shareholder or a stakeholder or a creator of that piece of the bigger picture. So this is where point number 1 comes in, where you get to recognize, the first R, recognize the divinity of your life, right? That there's a bigger picture, okay? So how many of you sit and contemplate your divine life. You know, that literally the purpose of your life, the reason why God breathed air into your heart, the reason why your heart was the first organ that started living through your body, you know, in your mother's womb. Okay, so do you ever wonder why the heart was the first organ, or is the first organ that starts to function as a baby? Do you ever wonder that? You know, it's always been something that's like in the back of my mind. Why is it the heart? Why wasn't it the brain? Why isn't it the vagina? Why isn't it the penis? You know, why is it the heart? Okay, the heart is the portal, right? The heart is the portal, and you were channeled here into this reality, into this physical body at this time of humanity on earth for a reason. Okay, so do you ever ask yourself why you were channeled here at this time of humanity, right? There has to be a bigger picture. You are part of the divine bigger picture. As insignificant as you think you are, you're not. You're not insignificant. So I want you to recognize the significance of your life. Recognize the divinity of your life, the divinity of your purpose. Okay? It's divine. It's a divine purpose. Okay? And you are a divine piece of that puzzle. Your heart is the portal. And when you are in a space of peace, love, light, when you're in compassion for self and others, of course, but first and foremost for yourself, right? Softness, when you're in that space in your heart, you're far more likely to follow divine guidance that's available to you every day. So just think about it. When your heart is closed, when you're contracted, when you're in fear, when you're in protective mode, when you're faced with all your insecurities and you're worried, you're afraid, you're anxious, you're carrying around some guilt and shame, and you know, you have all sorts of life, that sort of life stuff, like keeping you in that illusion of a victim, it's going to be really hard for you to stay connected to your divine purpose. Okay, because your purpose comes from God. It was breathed into your heart. It's there. It's a seed inside of your heart. God is love. So the more love you discover inside of your heart, inside of yourself, inside of, you know, for yourself and for others, the more connection you will have to purpose, to your purpose. Your love expands your purpose, right? Fear contracts it. So you're going to recognize, you know, that you are part of the divine. You are part of love. You are a piece of the whole of God. Okay. And, you know, it's time that you recognize that and you start asking yourself some questions like, who am I being called forward to be? Right? Where else is divinity showing up for me in my life? Where else can I see it? Where else is it being shown to me? Because I promise you, if you look for it, you will find it. It's everywhere. God is everywhere, and God is in you. Embody it, become it, because it is in you already. Okay. That's part one. Okay. Recognize. Number two is remember the divinity of your purpose. So we have number one, which is recognize, recognizing that you're divine. And my phone battery is lying low. So how appropriate. Give me a second, guys. Just trying to find my power bank. It was supposed to be here. Anyway, I'm going to just wing it. Okay, so number two was remembering the divinity of your purpose. So we have recognize. Hi, Gambia. Greeting from the Gambia. Gambia. Yes, we're doing good. We're busy in the middle of a training. Welcome, welcome. So part one is recognizing the divinity of your life. Part two is remember the divinity. So once you begin to recognize that, oh yeah, I am part of the divine plan. I am part of the divine blueprints. I am part of the divine puzzle. You know, I am part of the divine. You recognize that and you start to see that and feel that and experience that from within and then without. Then you have to put things in place in your life that will remind you, so that you remember that every single day. The more you remember it, the more ingrained it becomes in you, the more you wire yourself to that divinity. Okay, so this is really, really important. How can you do that? You can do that by creating conditions in your environment, in your home, in your workspace, that's going to trigger this remembrance of your divine purpose. Okay, you can use posters, you can use post-it notes, you can use your mirror, writing messages on your mirror. You can have a morning practice in place that just really plugs you in so that you remember who you are. Okay, you create rituals in your life, in your day, that keep this foundation of the divine for you. Because the more you remind yourself, the more you do it, the more you imprint your body, your physiology, the more it will become a norm for you, the more it will become a default for you. Okay, so I've got some examples for you that you can use on little post-it notes, or like, for example, I've got a big poster in front of me behind my computer. You can't see it, and it's just got a beautiful, it's a big picture. I'm not an amazing drawer, but it's got a beautiful image of something that I channeled while I was in Costa Rica. It's got codes inside, it's got words, it's got things about Europe, it's got things about my family, my kids, and I just see this every day, and it reminds me of my path, it reminds me of my purpose, it reminds me of the divine message. Okay, so do what you have to do to keep this reminder in front of you every day. Okay, so some things you can write across your walls. You can say, I'm a divine soul. I'm divinely connected to source, God, or universe, whatever that is for you. I'm open to receiving divine guidance. I choose to walk in my divine purpose. I am a leader. I am confident. I am empowered. I'm empowering others. I trust the way is created already. Anything that you, hi Ray, hi Mary, thanks for joining us. Anything that you think will trigger you as a remembrance to remember that you are part of the divine and that you are on a divine path of purpose, of a mission of some sort, whatever it is, right? Whether you're a mom, whether you're an artist, a teacher, an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, whatever it is, there's a mission somewhere in you. Okay, so you get to make your own like visuals, and it can be simple, guys. It can be post-it notes stuck everywhere around your house. Make them your own, make them positive, make them powerful, make them juicy, and make them emotionally triggering in a good way for you, because that's going to be your remembering sequence, right? It can even be something like in your bathroom mirror, where you go first thing in the morning and you brush your teeth, and you see it in front of you, and while you're brushing, you're reading this beautiful reminder of who you are and what you're connected to. Okay, so that's our second point. Our first point, these are the 4 R's, guys. I'm just teaching you the 4 R's of what you can do to stay connected to your purpose. The first one was recognizing that you're part of the divine. The second one is remembering that you're a part of the divine. The third one is rewiring your mind to match your divine purpose. Okay, so what that means is, whenever you're creating something in your life, you're creating a new reality, you're working on something, you're building something, you have a goal, an intention, you're working towards something, right? There's always going to be these conflicting beliefs and intruding thoughts that are going to be battling to keep you where you are, to keep you in your comfort zone, to keep you where it's safe, to keep you in what you know. Okay, so when you have to rewire your mind, you have to rewire the beliefs inside of you so that they're matching your divine purpose. Okay, so check in with yourself and see what are you working on right now, and what are the conflicting beliefs that are like in opposition to that you're working on? What are the thoughts that are coming up for you that are opposing that goal or that intention for you? You know, what intrusions are there? It's good to weed these out, write them down, and become aware of them, you know, because when we put the spotlight on these, they tend to sometimes just dissolve completely. And sometimes, you know, it takes a little bit of work, but when you start with awareness, that's very, very important. Okay, so they're not working at the subconscious level. You're bringing them up to the conscious mind so that you can start releasing them and programming new belief systems, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways for your neurology to function, so that it is a match for your divine purpose. Okay, so I would love for you to just think of three reasons of why you're struggling to stay connected to your purpose. So if you're struggling to stay connected to your purpose right now, think of 3 reasons why that is, and just write them down. Okay, and then on the opposite spectrum, you get to ask yourself if you're willing to keep accommodating these beliefs, these stories, these oppositions, because on some level you're believing them, and that's why they're there. Okay, on some level you're somehow like buying into it. You're buying into that. Not possible for me to achieve that, or I don't have what it takes, or it's going to take too long, or you know, whatever it is. On some level you're believing it. So it's good to weed it out and then actually look at what you've seen and ask yourself, am I willing to continue accommodating these limiting beliefs, these illusions, these fears? Am I willing to continue tolerating this energy in my space? And then you get to answer yes or no. And if it's no, you decide, okay, so this is not mine. I choose to return to sender. Do a ritual of some sort. Burn that piece of paper in a flame and send it out. Do something that's actually like a visual, visceral experience for you, that you get to like see and feel that you're releasing it. It's no longer yours. You've decided that it's no longer yours. It's really important to do that. And then every time this comes up again, you just get to say, you know, well, that's not mine. So I've decided already that I'm not tolerating this in my life, and I choose to focus my energy here. And then you redirect your energy. Okay, so it's important to understand that until you bring light to what's really stopping you, things are not going to change. These underlying conflicting beliefs and thought systems and patterns, and it's even in your nervous system, right? If they're at the subconscious level, they're functioning and they're actually controlling 95% of your behavior. Okay, so it's really, really important to bring them up to the surface, bring them up to the conscious mind, and make the changes, make the rewiring there, right? So that's number 3. Number 1 was recognizing the divine in you. Number 2 was remembering the divine. Number 3 is rewiring your mind to match your divine purpose. And number 4 of the 4 R's is realign and recalibrate to the higher choices in your life. So this means that you've recognized your divinity and the divinity in your purpose, right? You've put things in place to remember. You're rewiring your mind to match. And this is a constant. Doesn't happen one day and then you wake up the next day and you decide, okay, I'm finished with the rewiring. I'm finished with the choosing. I'm finished with the mindset work. It doesn't work that way. Okay. It gets to be like a choice to do this like as a lifelong thing. And it's a beautiful way to be a creator of your life. So you've done that, you've rewiring. And so now it's a part of the, this is very important actually, the energy piece, to get energetically aligned and recalibrate to that. So energetic alignment means that you are functioning with the energies, with the frequencies and the vibrations of that divine purpose, of your higher choices. Okay, so you actually start doing this by getting into the frequency of your purpose as energy and then seeing that energy coming into all parts of your body. It might come to you in colors, in light, in tones, in sounds, in, you know, in shapes, but it's really about you allowing this integration to happen energetically, you receiving this energy, this divine energy and higher frequency. And then to seal it, you got to commit to taking aligned action. Okay, you got to commit to taking aligned action so that the divine purpose can begin to like flow through you. Okay, I hope this is making sense. Let me give you an example of aligned action. Let me take you back to, okay, so when back in November, I had the opportunity to go to Costa Rica, right, in the peak COVID situation, and I knew that that was part of my higher path, and that I got to be there, and I could see myself there, right? So it's part of my divine path, right? To be in spaces that are high frequency, to be with people that are high frequency and leaders, because I see myself as a leader as well. So I had to decide, right, if I was willing to start rewiring my mind to match that. And I also had to decide if I was going to take the aligned action that came with that rewiring and that energy. And when I decided yes, and I made the full commitment, everything just fell into place, regardless of my fears about what was going to happen, or, you know, my kids being, you know, taken care of for 2 weeks with their dad, and me being away, and regardless of all this stuff that was, you know, coming up as excuses, or as like, I'll call it like the comfort, the comfort of reality, keeping me in this reality. I saw the higher reality and I chose it. So it has to be a decision. The realignment and the recalibration comes when you take that aligned action. All right. So let me know if this is landing for you. Drop any questions you have in the comments, and for the live on Instagram, drop any comments you have in the comments, and any questions. And then finally, what you do after that, when you finish those steps, you rinse and repeat. I cannot stress this enough. So I'm going to go through the steps quickly again for you. Number 1 was recognize your divinity and the divinity of your life, that you're part of the bigger whole. You're part of the divine source that has created you. Okay. Number 2 is remembering that, putting things in place so that you get to remember that and connect to that daily. Okay. Number 3 is rewiring your mind to match that divinity and that purpose, the higher vision that you hold. And then number 4 was realigning and recalibrating to that through aligned action, right? So very, very simple and to the point, but that also requires commitment. Okay. So, and then rinse and repeat. Okay. And then the second piece I wanted to share with you on this training is, let me just quickly take my notes. It's got to do with the distractions that you have to be aware of and conscious of, so that you can intentionally stay in your lane and focus your energy where most needed. So there's always going to be things happening in your life. There's always going to be things happening in the world. There's always going to be things happening with your kids, with your partners, with relationships. That's just the way life goes. Okay. So if you can make peace with that and be okay with, yeah, things will happen, right? And then when the distractions come, you're able to be conscious of them, and you're able to see with another lens that this is something that's like pulling me off my path and I need to come back. So an example of a distraction that can very easily distract you is social media, mindless scrolling, or the events of the world. Okay, there's always things happening in the world, always. And we get to hold compassion for everything and for everyone, and the tragedy around things that happen. Okay. And at the same time, you got to decide where your energy is needed most. Where are you most useful? Are you most useful scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and just going into everybody's feeds and checking out what they're posting and, you know, going into different links and all that? Or are you most useful really showing up for your purpose, showing up in your truth and sharing what is valuable in your life and what you think is valuable, would be valuable in other people's lives, right? Are you most useful planning your day at, you know, the day before, instead of this mindless scrolling? Just, you know, think about it. Think about where you're being distracted, how that's distracting you, what it's actually pulling you away from, and that you actually really want to be, you know, showing up in a different way. Okay. Another distraction could be like your basic avoidance of commitment, and then you're easily distracted. So just check that with yourself. Like, if you're avoiding committing to something, to your purpose, to your truth, you're afraid of, you know, the commitment it's going to take, so that you'll be easily distracted because of that, right? You're finding an outlet. Okay. Got 10% battery left on my phone. So I'm going to try and wrap this up now. We've got another 2 minutes. Let me see where I was. Yeah. So the distractions, you have to be super, super conscious of when you're being distracted, and then intentionally come back into your present state, get back in your lane, focus your energy where you're most productive, focus your energy where you're most valued, and where your value can be seen as well, where you actually get to start valuing yourself first, so that you start to value your time and not get so distracted. Okay. Then lastly, what's important right now? What's important right now? What's priority right now in this time and space? For me, priority right now is taking a radical stand for what I believe is true, taking a radical stand for speaking my truth, sharing value, showing up, supporting my clients, and really just like speaking into, I want to be a little bit wary of what I say because of censorship. So speaking into what's illusion and what's not illusion. Okay, like the veil gets to be lifted. The masks get to be taken off, like literally and figuratively, so that we can actually breathe spirit, breathe truth, breathe love, breathe light, and share with each other as we're supposed to be sharing, without competition, without jealousy, without guilt, without shame, and really start rising and raising each other up to create our heaven on earth. Okay, that is what's most important to me, for me right now. It's to support you. It's to help you to discover your purpose, to anchor into your purpose, to anchor into your divinity, to shine your light, to make the changes in your life that you want to make, and make the impact in the world that you want to be making. Know that you have the power to create your heaven on earth. You have the power, you have the capacity, you have the knowledge, and you have this heart tool, the most intelligent, expansive portal that you would ever require. It's here. Okay, so you know, basically I would just like suggest to you to take these 4 R's, go through the steps again, and see what comes up for you. See where the gaps are for you regarding your connection to your purpose. And I'm sure that it's a disconnect in your heart that's actually giving you the illusion that you're not connected to your purpose. So sink into that, allow yourself to integrate, allow yourself to digest this information. And if you have any questions, send me a message, drop them in the comments. and I'll be happy to reply and respond to you. If you would like to have a little bit of a deeper conversation with me, by all means, go ahead and do that. You can check out my link in my bio, send me a message in Facebook, and let's line that up for you. I would like to wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope this has supported you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.